What up, y'all? Welcome back to Feast Mode, the show in which I break my fast with a bang bang, two separate meals from two different sources tied together by some kind of theme. If you've seen my last couple of videos, you know that I've gone through all of February without any meat at all, sort of an ovo-lacto vegetarian style of eating. And although today is March 1st and I could technically start adding meat back to my diet, I decided to go one more day without any meat and have a vegetarian style pizza feast. So with that being said, what I have here are two slices of pizza, one from Wegmans, this mushroom and truffle pizza from Wegmans, and another slice of pizza, margherita pizza from Whole Foods. And I wanted to do a comparison test between the two. Oh, you see a little oil drip in there. Peep the aesthetics right there real quick. Alright, let's get into it. I also have my little dog joining me right here. This is Samus. She's made appearances in other videos before, but sort of in the background, just making noise. Today she's going to be in the background, being cute and kind of looking over my shoulder while I eat. Today I am finishing up, or ending my fast on a 16-hour note. 16 because it's sort of the minimum length of a fast. That's widely recognized to be a fast when you go without food for 16 hours. And I wanted to show you guys, to anybody that's out there that's watching my videos and are kind of curious, flirting with the idea of maybe checking out intermittent fasting, I wanted to show you and kind of visualize and help you contextualize just how relatively easy it can be. So with that being said, let's get into it. I also have a sort of a dip I made, an olive oil dip that I've added some hot pepper flakes and some Parmigiano Reggiano. I'll start with the Wegmans mushroom and truffle slice of pizza first. All right. Wow. That was very good. Mushrooms happen to be my favorite pizza topping, over pepperoni, over sausage, over bacon, over all the meats. And the truffle adds a nice additional depth to the pizza. Very aromatic. Lots of umami there. Now, with the Wegmans pizza, it's cooked in a very traditional sort of bakery style oven, which reaches a lower temperature threshold, so you don't get that really nice leopard spotting that you get in like New York style pizzas, which is something that you do get with the Whole Foods pizza. Let's check that out. Very classic margherita pizza with the sliced tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, and some basil. And the difference here in the crust, you can see it's got that nice leopard spotting that you get from a wood-fired or coal-fired oven, which can be heated up to a much higher temperature, so it cooks the pizza really fast, but also gives that sort of that charred. It also chars the dough a little bit, which gives it a nice little bitterness to kind of go and counteract that the richness of the toppings there. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, I like the crust a lot better. And this olive oil dip is something I do every time I go to like an Italian restaurant where they give you free bread. They always have olive oil on the table. They usually have Parmesan, and they always have the red chili pepper flakes as well, and I kind of just throw them in there. Makes a really nice dipping sauce or dipping oil for the crust there. You know, about 12, 13 years ago, I went on a trip to New York City with a bunch of friends of mine. I think it was 4 of us all together. And before then, I definitely wouldn't have considered myself a foodie. Really had no experience with high quality foods. My experience with pizza, especially, was relegated to like the big name brands like Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut. And out of all those, Domino's was my favorite, even though back then it was like beyond terrible. But one of my friends, she booked a reservation at this place in Manhattan called Lombardi's, which happens to be the first pizzeria in America back in the early 1900s, I believe. And I went in there expecting just like a basic pizza. I think up until then, the best pizza I've ever had was probably like Uno's Pizzeria, which, as you all know, is not that great. I didn't know what to expect before going in. But she told me that this pizza would change my life. And it was around Christmas time. It was actually after Christmas time, leading up into New Year's. We had a reservation booked. I remember lining up to the door. I remember peeking into the window. All this, you know, bright light coming out of there. I look inside, my face against the window, and I'm like leering at them while they're enjoying this food, like some kind of weird Norman Rockwell painting. And once we got inside, we ordered 2 pizzas between the 4 of us. One was a classic margherita like this, and the other was like a meat lover's pizza. And Lombardi's at the time, I don't know if the regulations have changed, but at that time, I believe it was the only coal-fired or wood-fired pizzeria in the city. At some point, New York City had banned all coal-fired and wood-fired ovens due to safety regulations of some sort. But Lombardi's had been there for so long. It was such an institution that it was grandfathered in. So the pizza that we got there was unlike anything I'd ever tasted up until the point, and it really did change my life. It made me realize that there's so much better foods out there than what I was exposed to, and you just have to look for it. And ever since that day, I've been obsessed with finding the best things to eat. Not only in the place where I live, but also when traveling. It's the top priority for me when I travel to a new place, is to find the best things to eat. And that's just been like one of my passions ever since then. And the hallmarks of a great New York style pizza is you want a crispy crust, but soft, chewy interior. The quality of the ingredients have to be very high as well. Normally when I get a margherita pizza, I get the sort of the little dollops or the little slices of mozzarella. But this is sort of a traditional sort of mozzarella that's kind of shredded and just topped over. Still very good. I swear, having a dog like this who sheds so easily and so often, you're going to find little tiny strands of little black hairs all over the place. It's always in my food at some point, even though I try to be super vigilant about picking them out. I have tons of lint rollers around the house, just kind of wiping things down or swiping things down. But inevitably, you always find that black hair everywhere. And you know it's not my hair. Y'all see me, I don't have any hair left. Look at that black truffle all along the rim of the crust. I wish this pizza was cooked in a wood oven or a coal oven. I think it'd really help with the texture of the crust. But other than that, the mushrooms are delicious. I think they're portobello mushrooms, baby portobello maybe, and just some black truffle along the side. Oh, also got some white truffle oil. I just got this in the mail from Amazon a couple days ago. I don't think I need this for this pizza today because it's just already very, very mushroomy, very, very savory, very umami. Don't need that extra hit of truffle, but I'm definitely saving that. Or I'll definitely be using that on like my pastas or pizza in the future. Even with the shitty big box name brand pizzas, I think that'll kind of add a little flavor enhancement there. If I could take these toppings on this crust, we would have the best of both worlds here. In fact, let's see if we can hack this a bit. That's good. It's like a Franken calzone or Franken stromboli. I like that. Some of y'all are gonna call foul when I add this sriracha here, but ooh, that gross ass juice. Damn it. Oh, it's like when you open up a bottle of ketchup and gets all that watery juice on top. I hate that shit. That always goes good together. Sriracha is always a nice little fix. Or in this case, a nice little compliment to my pizza. So with the month ending, today's technically March 1st. I'm actually going to go an extra day because I'm going to have another video coming out or being filmed 2 days from now, in which I'll break my month-long ban on meat. So I'm going to go an extra day. And I'll talk about my experiences with this vegetarian month in my next video probably. But as far as like a weight update, I started off the month February 1st. I weighed in at 224, and this morning before all this I was 216. So I lost about 8 pounds, which is not the results I was hoping for. I wanted to I wanted to have lost a little bit more weight than that, but I know where I went wrong. And it's on my non-fasting days where I decided, or I had trouble kind of willing myself not to eat during the entire day, essentially, which has been sort of the way I've lived my whole life. But moving forward, I'm going to try really hard to just incorporate smaller windows of eating, something that I preach all the time about intermittent fasting that, unfortunately, that I'm not always able to comply with. But I do have a goal as far as my weight's concerned to hit a certain number. I'll just put it out there. I want to be 200 by the end of this month. That's my challenge, to lose another 16 pounds in March. Can I do it? Don't know. I feel like it's a pretty aggressive goal, but I will try my darndest to do it. So we'll see how that goes. And I know I have all the tools to do it. It's a matter of implementation, right? So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I wanted to film a 16-hour fast just because it's the easiest way for those that are interested in trying it out to kind of get your foot in the door, kind of dip your toes in the water. And just to put into context, think of it this way. You go throughout your day, you have your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and then around 8 o'clock at night, you shut it off. You don't put anything else in your body except for water. Three hours later, you go to bed. You get your recommended 8 hours of sleep a day, and that's already half the fast already taken care of during your sleep, where you don't have to worry about it. And depending on what you eat during your last meal, if it's high in proteins and dietary fats, vegetables as well, and low in carbohydrates, you won't be as hungry or hungry at all when you wake up. You wake up in the morning, you get your morning coffee, unsweetened of course, no cream, no sugar, just black coffee, or your green tea, unsweetened. And then drink a lot of water throughout the day until lunchtime. That right there is a 16-hour window, and the only time that you're awake during it is an 8-hour window, half of which has happened the night before, where you've just eaten your last meal, so you're not even thinking about food at that point. When you think about it that way, it makes it a lot more palatable and not as unreasonable to go for 16 hours of a 24-hour window without any food. And that is how you start. And once you get used to that, extend your window to 17 hours, 18 hours, 19 hours, 20 hours until you can hit that 23 to 24-hour mark, which is the key. Your body gets into ketosis. Your body starts using stored fat as fuel, and the weight starts to melt. And I'll go into another video sometime in the future, maybe next week, about the things you can partake in while you're on a fast to kind of help you get along that, kind of help you with your willpower and satiate that hunger. Overall, I'm glad that I tried the no meat challenge. Never done it before. The longest I've gone without meat was 1 meal. So, it was an interesting exercise in willpower and self-control. And needless to say, I'm very excited about having my first taste of meat 2 days from now. With one of the things that I've been craving the most in the past month. So, stay tuned for that. But thank you, Lombardi's, for putting me on the path of food discovery all those years ago. You've opened up my eyes to a whole new world of food quality that was unknown to me to that point. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy my Domino's, but knowing that there's better out there, it's nice to treat yourself every now and then, right? And my ties to Domino's really are a nostalgic thing. It's funny that a lot of our fondest memories with food and our food preferences are tied to the things that we loved as kids. Never really outgrow that. You know, with the help of my dog here, I might actually be able to finish today's meal. Guys, do this when you go to an Italian place. Parmigiano, olive oil, and some red pepper chili flakes. This is great with your bread. Look at that. Right? That's a wrap, guys. I've actually finished my meal, I think for the first time on camera. So if you guys liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know how your experiences with fasting are going. If you want any tips, until next time, Feast Mode out.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double.